Hey guys, Micah from Micah Doodles here. Today I'm going to be drawing a 1932 Ford Coupe. Actually, I've got a client that is looking to get this done. But one of the things I want to, first of all, kick in here is my horizon line there. And then I'll begin to start inking this thing in. So a signature piece on this obviously is the front end. So I really want to make sure I nail that front end down. The type of grill that's on there as well. So I'm going to start basically kind of laying out my rough outline of it, my shape as well, and then I'll kick in the details. There we go. And again, I'm sloping all this. I like to draw this where it's kind of an aggressive stance, so it's going to be looking kind of facing more, leaning in like that. Let's see here, like that. My fenders on this comes down. This line comes back here to the back. There. These guys gonna have some crazy mirrors coming out like this out of the top, so I'm just gonna kind of add those in. Roughly then, when I'm penciling everything in, I'm just doing kind of light sketches. And then when I go back in, I'll go ahead and darken everything up. But just so that we can get an idea of what's going on, I'm doing it this way, just to show you guys. Roughly pencil this guy in here, like that. And again, this is going to come off the fender like this. These fenders have a tendency to roll here, off of here, like this. So I really want to capitalize on that. Again, the lights as well, very defining feature within the 32 Coupe as well as the front grille. I'm going to have a bumper that's going to come off the front as well. Now for this horizon line, I made everything basically kind of straight. Typically I like to arch it, but for this one, I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to kind of add a little bit, straighten it up a little bit. And so there we go. So basically that is almost where we're at with this. Then I'm going to go ahead and darken this thing in. You guys can kind of see what I'm going to do. We'll go through this whole process here real quick. As soon as I got my basic shape, my lean, I'm satisfied with that. Then I'm gonna start darkening it. Obviously, one of the first things I like to do is I like to really go over and darken up my lines on the over the outline of the vehicle, just so that that's really going to make this vehicle come alive, pop, and work really well. Especially if you're doing a cartooning, you really want to define that. Again, to do chrome, darken up the bottom side, put a horizon line down the middle, darken up the bottom side, leave the top light because that's going to reflect the sky. There we go. Okay, so there's basically everything's roughed out for this coupe. Now I'm going to start going in and darkening, adding detail, darkening the lights up, things like that, kind of really defining what's going on here. Kind of my signature. I like to add just shadows to the lights and things like that to develop that. Okay, now this grill is real important, so I really want to make sure I nail this. It looks kind of like a heart shape. It backs in like this, and it's got like that. That would be my top. There we go. Because this whole hood piece is supposed to roll a little bit right here. As it comes to the window here, rolls down. So I really want to nail that down. And these pieces inside here, you've got vertical slats that run. Well, that's not very good, but vertical slats that run down here. So now that I've basically got this car, I'm gonna start tackling it and running it in, nailing it down, darkening everything up a little bit. I feel pretty satisfied with the lines on there and whatnot. Okay, there we go. Again, you guys have any questions? You can, or you have a car that you're thinking about, you'd like me to draw. You can email me at micah@micahdoodles.com, and I can see if I can get that done for you guys. Okay. So this is a lesson today on just a little bit of different perspective, kind of from what I've been doing. But this will give you kind of an idea of just another type of vehicle. and how to lean that thing in, make it really kind of look tough and aggressive. Again, I'm not drawing the full page here. I'm kind of focusing here within a circle, and when I keep that circle there, that kind of develops my parameters from the front to the back, so I'm not just starting in one place and then starting to draw, but I've kind of defined my line of where things are going to be on this vehicle. That actually helps me to keep things in perspective. Okay, so now I'm going to put in my wheels, my tires, darken this thing in. There we go. See this drew back here. Now I'm going to roll this fender up over the top a little bit, give it a little bit more height as well. There we go. Now where this tire touches this, I'm going to leave an imaginary white line around it like this, and what that's going to do is that's actually going to separate visually that tire from the other one. Anytime that you darken an image and add a line to it, it's going to kind of make the one behind it, or the one in front of it, pop forward more than just bleeding it all together. Adding some tread in here. I'll add some tread in here as well. Okay, now I'm going to add a shadow on here. This shadow is going to be coming from this fender, so I'm just going to feel free and darken this up here. Same thing with this. Again, my lines are going to come down here. Now, again, it's a very quick sketch, but you get the idea. It's coming down like this, and this obviously can go as dark as you want in there. There's what's going on here. Okay, now to put together these rims, I'm going to put a set of 5 spokes on here, like Krager style. So the Krager style, they have a tendency to bend and arc from the middle, so I'm going to add that. Again, I've got my little chrome highlights right in the middle, horizon line, developing that. As soon as that's developed, then you basically build off of that. You've got dark on the bottom or on the side, and everything else rolls into that. Your lug bolts in between there. And then for me, I am going to darken in between the spokes. Just the style that I like to do when I'm doing that, so I leave my rim exposed like that. And then again, I'm going to cast my shadow line over the top of where this fender is to kind of give it some more, just make it a little more realistic. And then with chrome, if I'm just going to marker this or ink this in, I'm going to I have a lot more freedom with those pens doing that. But since this is just kind of penciling in, you're going to get a rough idea. Okay, again, put my hubcap in here, put my spoke down this way, horizon line for the chrome there, darkening in these shapes in between, putting my shadow over the top like that. Okay. There we go. Kind of something like that. Okay, now some of these coupes are going to have a little bit of a back window in here, but this back window, some of them are filled in, some of them aren't. So with this one, I'm basically just going to kind of leave it as a shadow. Now I know that my light source is coming from this side, so everything on this side of the car should be darker than what's going on here. So if I'm going to shade an object like this, I'm going to shade the side of this, and this, and this, as well as this. This is going to have a shadow on here. The shadow is going to get cast like this. So again, I'm going to cast a shadow like that. Again, this should be darker in here because this casts this shadow. Now, when you've got a light in a dark area in here, sometimes you have to kind of imagine this tire is dark, but yet I've got a shadow that's back here that I want to kind of pop up and define as well. So I've kind of highlighted it, add a little bit of detail in there as well. Now again, I could go definitely darker on my grill, especially on this shadow right here, so that's what I'm going to do. Pop that guy in there like that. Do that. like that. Okay, this is gonna make this light come a little bit more alive right there. There we go. Wrap that guy around like that. Got my interior. Again, everything's kind of real rough, real loose, but it kind of gives you an idea what's going on there. There we go. So roughly, that's about it right there. 1932 Ford. Let me actually add my chrome line here. Go heavy in there. There's a couple spots in there. Let me add some tread lines here. Like that. Keep this guy on. Darken this up a little bit here. Okay, 1932 Ford Coupe. There we go, all done. If you have any questions, you can check it out. Micah at micahdoodles.com, email me, or go to micahdoodles.com on my website. Thanks.